Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What's up, people? I'm RGveda, and you are watching a Dota2Pro.com hero guide on Earthshaker. This is our first hero guide video that we put out, so I hope that you guys will enjoy it. Earthshaker is one of the all-time classic Dota heroes that has consistently been a top pick or ban in competitive Dota. And this is for great reason. He is one of the best, if not the best, initiator hero in the entire game. He's probably the only hero with 3 AoE stunning abilities. And his first stun, Fissure, is one of the most reliable long-range stuns in the game. Under the right circumstances, an Earthshaker can completely devastate the other team with a properly executed Fissure or ultimate. Games can be won purely by having great initiation, and great initiators like Earthshaker are essential for this. Another reason why Earthshaker is such a solid hero is the fact that he doesn't need a lot of items to succeed in the game. His only real core item is a Blink Dagger, and once he has the Blink Dagger, he turns into an incredibly dangerous threat to the other team for the rest of the game. This allows him to help spend money on support items like wards and couriers, since he does not need that much farm. So let's talk about Earthshaker's skills. Earthshaker's first spell is Fissure. This is a long-range stunning ability that creates a temporary wall on the ground that lasts 8 seconds. This ability does 225 magic damage in a line AoE in front of Earthshaker and has a range of 1,000 units. It also stuns for 1.75 seconds. The temporary wall created by Fissure can also be used to isolate an enemy hero from their allies or to block off an escape path. However, players should be very careful with this ability because they can easily lose a fight if they trap their teammates on the wrong side of the wall as well. Earthshaker's second spell, Enchant Totem, gives Earthshaker's next auto attack extra damage. At level 4, this spell grants 300% increased damage. Earthshaker's third ability is Aftershock. This is a passive ability that stuns and does damage in a small AoE around Earthshaker anytime he casts a spell. This spell grants bonus damage to Fissure, as well as an extra stun and damage to Enchant Totem as ultimate.
Very good.
Earthshaker's ultimate ability is called Echo Slam. Echo Slam does 350 initial damage in an AoE at level 3, as well as 70 extra damage per enemy unit that is affected by the spell. This spell has the potential to do a serious amount of AoE damage to the other team.
It's not ready.
In terms of Earthshaker's role in the game, he fills out quite a few important niche roles. Because of the lack of items that Earthshaker needs, he can be played as a roaming hero. This means that during the laning phase, he has no set lane to go to. Instead, he will roam around the map, trying to set up ganks on the enemy team by using his Fissure to stun from far away while blocking their escape route. It doesn't matter too much if Earthshaker loses out on levels, because he will easily catch up later on in the game during team fights. And the help that he is giving to his teammates outweighs his need for levels early on. Earthshaker is also often used as a melee stunner in tri-lanes due to the long range of his Fissure. Since Earthshaker can stun people from so far away, he makes it very hard for the other team to stay in the lane without fearing initiation at any moment. One misclick from Earthshaker's opponents, and they can find themselves stunned and stuck on the wrong side of his Fissure spell, where they will have to battle it out in a 3v1. Lastly, Earthshaker is used as a turtling hero. Turtling is the act of your team playing extremely defensive so that your carries can farm. Usually if you are turtling, your team will not be pushing at all. The only time a team fight will happen is when the other team decides to push and you have to defend your towers. So as I said earlier, Earthshaker probably has the best initiation of any hero in the game. But at the same time, that initiation can also be used to have one of the best defenses in the game. When you are playing Earthshaker, it is easier to pull off a good ultimate while defending instead of pushing. And because of this, it makes it very hard for the other team to push your base. Now let's move on to items. As I said before, Earthshaker really only needs his Blink Dagger to be really effective in the game. Because of this, he takes on somewhat of a support role when it comes to buying items. Starting items for Earthshaker should include some stats, some regen, and either wards or a courier. If you want exact starting items, you can use these as a guide. Seeing as Earthshaker's mana pool is only around 250, you will need to pick up at least one mana potion so that you can cast more than one Fissure while in the lane. During the laning phase, you should try and pick up a magic stick and start working on getting your arcane boots. Getting normal boots early on will allow you to run around the map faster to set up ganks for other lanes. Upgrading to arcane boots are really going to help you deal with Earthshaker's mana needs. Using these arcane boots, you will be able to spam your Fissure almost non-stop. Because of this, you should use your Fissure to harass enemies in the lane almost every time your cooldown is up. At the same time, you want to try and get in a couple of creep kills with your stun. However, stunning the creeps will push the lane, so you should evaluate whether or not you want to do this depending on the situation. As soon as you get enough money, buy your Blink Dagger. Now all you have to do is run around and terrorize the map with your team. You should blink into enemy heroes when they are surrounded by a lot of units and cast your ultimate to max out the damage that it does. Remember, the more units, the better. At this point, after you have your Blink Dagger, you should begin buying wards again to help out the supports on your team. Now for late game, Earthshaker has a lot of choices. I personally prefer to get Shiva's Guard so that you can become more tanky. And at the same time, you are able to dish out more AoE damage when you initiate, as well as slow down the enemy. After this, if the game goes this late, I like to pick up a Sheepstick because, well, Sheepstick is amazing, and one of the best items in the game. Never hurts to have a little overpowered item on your side. You can also pick up a Refresher Orb if you would like to cast your initiation combo twice. The only problem with this item is that it requires a very large mana pool, so it should be gotten after you get one or two more items with a lot of the plus intelligence stat on them. So, to wrap up the video, Earthshaker is an initiator and support hero. His spell, Fissure, creates a temporary wall that can be used to trap enemies or save teammates. His ultimate does more damage based on the amount of units it hits. His core item is Blink Dagger. Without it, it will be extremely hard to pull off a good ultimate. He should assist the team in buying couriers and wards. He can be used to roam, tri-lane, or lane normally. Use arcane boost to spam Fissure, to harass, and farm money for your Blink Dagger. After arcane boots, some good items to pick up are Shiva's, Sheepstick, and a Refresher Orb. With Aftershock skill, Enchant Totem and Echo Slam also stun enemies that are standing next to Earthshaker. Fissure and Echo Slam should be skilled every time possible. You should pick up a level of Enchant Totem and Aftershock early on to have a second stun in case you need it. You should pick Earthshaker when you need a good initiator, or if your game plan is to turtle. He is a very versatile hero that works well in almost any lineup. You should ban Earthshaker when you're using a pushing strategy to prevent the other team from turtling. He counters heroes that use a lot of units such as Furion and Broodmother. And that wraps up our video! Be sure to subscribe and check out Dota2Pro.com for more Dota 2 guides and coverage. Dota 2 Pro is also looking for volunteers to help with the site, so if you would like to join the team, or if you would like to suggest the hero we cover for next week's guide, stop by our forums and make a post. Thanks for watching, I'm RGveda, and I'll see you again next week.